Coming up, the team talks about our favorite Christmas events in Orlando. Live from the Bob Varley Studio in Orlando, Florida, this is the Diz Unplugged. This is the Diz Unplugged, episode 763 for the week of December 16th, 2014. The Diz Unplugged is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel, experts at helping you plan the perfect Disney vacation. Visit them on the web at www.dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. Welcome, everybody, and thank you for joining us. We have a fun-filled, action-packed show for you. This is our last show of 2014. So we thought we'd talk a little bit about holidays in Orlando and find out what the team thinks and share some of their favorite Orlando-related events for Christmas and New Year's. My name is John Magi. I will be your host this week. Pete and Dustin are both on a Disneyland Backstage Magic adventure, and Kevin is unfortunately not feeling well. And we are joined by our Orlando team, Kathy Whirling, Jenny Lynn Knopp, Teresa Eccles, Corey Martin, and back in the production nook, Craig Williams, all by himself. It's very sad.
As it should be.
As it should be. I'm sure that'll go over big when Dustin edits the show.
That way. I'm just saying this week. Alone. They're all grumpy, and your voice is weird this week.
Yeah, I'm trying to actually talk with a deeper voice and sound like a man for once.
I'm not liking it.
It's not working out well for me.
It's
fine.
Here's something funny. That makes me laugh every time. Apparently, Kevin on the phone sounds like a woman. So every time he talks to somebody on the phone, inevitably in the conversation is, "I'm not a ma'am. Stop calling me ma'am." And I think that cracks me up every time.
I got to stop saying that when he calls then, don't I?
I think we should also do it. Ma'am, how can I help you? All right, this being our last show before the holidays, we thought we would talk a little bit about our favorite Christmas events in Orlando, in and around Orlando. Doesn't necessarily have to be a Disney-related event. Could be another theme park, could be something off of Disney property, could be something that's sort of our own little hidden gem that we like to participate in. I think for most of us, there's probably multiples of these. I know for myself, when I was thinking about these, there's several things that I enjoy very much every holiday season. Also, I don't want to limit the team to just Christmas. If it's New Year's related or Hanukkah related or Kwanzaa related or St. Patrick's Day, no, that we won't go
Festivus.
Festivus. It could be Festivus related. So I am going to put Miss Kathy Whirling on the spot, and I'm going to start with her. Your favorite Christmas event in Orlando?
Well, obviously, it's Disney. Just going to the parks and seeing the decorations. And probably the place I really like the best is Wilderness Lodge. Just to sit there and soak up that's my good for the soul resort. And to see the Christmas decorations, I come out of there feeling inspired. So for me, it's Disney.
Is that the thing that starts Christmas for you? Is that the thing where you see it and you go, okay, now Christmas, the season is here?
I think going around to all the Disney resorts and just seeing the different things. And a couple, maybe it's a month ago, we took my grandson and we took him around and showed him some of the things. And we went, and the other day we went to downtown Disney with Santa Claus. And I don't know, back when my kids were growing up, I thought taking your kid to Santa Claus was sort of, you just didn't do that. I'm different, but seeing my grandson go down and they had prepped him to talk to Santa Claus, and you know how you do that with your kids, and then you just don't know what's going to happen. And he walked up like he'd known Santa all his life,
that's cool.
Started telling stories. So that's always fun to see, just how Disney does it.
And how old is he this year?
He's 3, and his sister went. She's 1. So the pictures we got, but the Santa that they had there, I had seen pictures on Facebook, but for the really small babies, he was like laying down, and he had the babies like on his stomach. It made the most awesome picture if you had like a newborn with Santa.
Santa laid down?
Santa was like sprawled out, more or less.
Kind of like
with the baby on his...
Burt Reynolds and Cosmo, or
Dirty
what?
Santa?
No, it was just a very nice.
Oh, the fur was white.
You know how you see the ones with the babies and the teacups and, you know, the artsy?
Oh,
This was like an artsy Santa. Like he was sleeping with the baby on his.
Got it.
Artsy Santa.
Sounds kind of creepy.
Guess you had to be there.
Kind of creepy.
But the pictures you took were amazing. You took those pictures, right? That I saw. Yeah, those were awesome.
Yeah.
Those were cute.
And
Baby
it was
Peter,
fun
cute.
because Gage got to wear his first Santa hat. And then we talked about the state of downtown Disney. Because if you haven't been lately, you know how we've all moaned? You need to go to downtown Disney and check it out. It's going to be awesome. But the amphicars, I had to explain to my grandson what an amphicar
That's
is.
cool.
I think you have to explain it to me.
Actually, we heard about this a couple weeks ago, and I wasn't sure that it was going to definitely happen. But they're going to have the amphicar is a car that actually it occurred in the 50s that somebody invented that drives on land and also can be a boat in the water. So you can take it right from the land and go into the water.
Like Chitty Chitty Bang Bang?
And well, it doesn't fly and have singing people in it, but it will have it'll be at downtown Disney. And are people going to be able to drive them, or there'll be a driver there who'll take them?
There'll be a driver that takes
Oh, I
them.
would love to be able to. I mean, drive it into the water, and
And it's next to, was it Mannequins? That area, there's a nice little seating area now. But there's a big sign advertising the amphicars
Oh, that's
are
cool.
coming. But he was just fascinated with that. And downtown Disney is all decorated. It's, you know, it's a good family
That's great.
tradition.
They usually have really good street entertainers in the evenings, especially at Christmas time, singing the Christmas songs and stuff.
well, the local kids go over and choruses from the schools during the day and sing on the stage at downtown Disney.
And
That's pretty awesome.
I've always been about the details at Disney. And the other day we were down there when we were doing the Santa thing, and we were watching all the equipment that Disney has for like setting up on the stage, and like the carts they have for taking the chairs on and off. And when they went to fold the drum set up, the floor of the drums came up and formed like a box, and then they just sort of pushed the drum set. It was like, but it's like if you want to see more details, just sit at the stage and watch how they set up for a show or take down from a show. Something different.
Excellent. I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to go to Teresa next.
Oh God, I wasn't.
I know
ready.
you weren't ready.
I
were
wasn't ready at all. What was the question?
What the whole show's about?
What's your favorite Christmas event in Orlando? Doesn't have to be Disney related. It can be other theme park. It could be off Disney property. It could be more than one.
Okay, good. All right. On Disney property, I like Fort Wilderness and the way all the people there decorate. I think that's fun to go see that. I've taken the, they call it a sleigh ride.
The hayride.
The hay ride. No, it wasn't a sleigh.
Oh, was it?
Or, a wagon, whatever.
Okay.
A buggy, I don't know what the heck it was. But anyway, that's always fun. Corey, stop. I'm going to poke you with this flag. I also like ice a lot. Cracker Christmas is on my list every year. I do like crafts, and what starts the season for me is Thanksgiving, and, then the decorations come out, and, the jubilation begins. I just enjoy the whole season. 'Tis the season.
I liked when you mentioned, it stuck with me that you and Stella went through like the history of all your ornaments. You know how we all have family ornaments, but you explained.
Well, when my kids were little, we would all. Okay, when I first got married, I decorated the tree. Kelvin wasn't into it, so he would watch. I'd try to make him help, and he would help, but I would always, after he left the room, fix it correctly. So my kids kind of got into the habit of just watching too, so they would hook the ornaments and hand them to me and all. So the last couple of years, it just ends up being me because everybody's off running and doing stuff. This year, Stella was present when we were doing this, and over a 4-night period, we put the ornaments on the tree. And it took so long because she was asking me the history of
That's awesome.
of each ornament. Some of them had no history, so I made stuff up.
The backstory.
The backstory of this
From your
ornament.
great grandfather.
But others had meaning, to it. You know, I mean, this was our first Christmas. You know, this was one of three, but the horrible incident of 1990, we lost one. You know, we have a story. So, you know, we always refer back to this one survived 1990. So, you know. So anyway, so that kind of thing we enjoy. I also enjoy the specialty foods that are out there during the holidays in the parks and just out there in general, you know, the deals. And
What's the thing, like, if you get it, if someone sends you something, you kind of go, oh, now it's the holidays.
Right.
For us, it's a spiral ham.
It's a spiral ham.
Somebody very nice, Kathleen, every year sends us a spiral ham.
I didn't get one
Hint
from
to the
her.
rest of you.
I got a card from Kathleen. What's that about?
She likes me better.
But no, it's for me. It's when I start organizing and start my baking and my cooking of the candy. Traditionally, Christmas Eve has always been when we make the hard stained glass candy. We're doing it earlier this year. We're doing it tomorrow. So we're mixing up a little bit. But you were talking about what you got from Kathleen. It reminded me, I got a Christmas card from Kathleen, which reminded me of another thing. I got 2 Christmas cards this week in the mail that had been opened up, and someone has drawn on the card and changed the way it looks.
Like devil head? Like devil ear?
Like someone blackened in Santa's beard in one, and then it was
geez.
a photo card from a family, and they gave everybody a little Hitler mustache.
Did Stella do it?
No, it's coming out of my mailbox, so I'm pulling it out of the mailbox. The card's open, and
That's a cruel
crap's
prank.
been done to my cards.
Was it ripped open or like steamed open?
It
this
was
like
ripped open.
Okay.
Ripped open. And they're messing with my Christmas. And it's just weird. I pull out this lovely family picture of this family that sends me a card every year, and they're Dizzers, and I love it. And one of their little girls, you know, sporting a little Hitler mustache. This is wrong.
I hope you don't get a Hitler Ferris.
Doing that, I know. It was just shocking.
Shoot.
They're messing with my Christmas. I can't hang that card up now. You know, it's.
Did you make the neighbors angry?
Did I make it? I don't know who's doing. No, it's a sealed mailbox. It's happening before the mailman.
Oh, so it's one of those ones you have to
Yes,
key
it's a
and
lock.
unlock it?
Yeah, so either the mailman's doing it, or someone at the post office is doing it.
Wow.
Post office
Did you tip
worker.
your mailman?
I haven't yet.
Okay.
Do you tip your garbage people?
No.
I do valet trash. I have to pay for garbage all
You
year
do ballet
round.
trash?
Ballet.
And a tutu
Oh,
and
how pretty.
Valet.
Tutus.
Valet.
They wear
Tutus.
tutus.
it's like swan garbage. I picture that going out in ballet trash.
No, I tip my garbage man. You don't tip your garbage?
I live in an apartment complex.
Oh,
I don't have
okay.
a garbage
Well, how do you
man.
tip a garbage man? I mean, where do you put the tip?
Push him
run
right on his
after him.
shoulder, and he goes right down.
No, usually it'll be next Monday. I'll be there waiting for him when he pulls up. I know what time
See,
they
ours
pull
is
up.
like picked up by Terminator. This truck comes over and these 2 things come
Yeah,
out. and
that's how ours does.
No, we have little men running about.
Tip him in Bitcoin.
And elf
Okay.
hats and
And I tip the mailman. You know, I give him a
We
little.
tip the mailman. We tip our
Yeah.
pool guy, but we
Oh,
don't
I don't
tip.
tip my pool guy.
Oh, you're supposed to tip
Oh,
the
you had
pool
to
guy?
pool do that.
Shoot.
Yeah,
I'll see him next week.
Yeah, you'll see.
it's not Christmas yet. You're
Yeah.
still
but
good.
yeah,
Because I mean, you don't want them doing things in your pool that you know.
Oh,
No.
Oh my!
That's why I have drop cam.
No, I like. I don't know. I like receiving at Christmas, but I like giving better. Giving little things and little, you know. But this Christmas card thing really took me for a loop yesterday with all the.
That's
Who
weird.
is doing this? And do I report it? Who do I report it to?
you need drop cam for your mailbox.
Yeah.
Well, it's not happening in my
It's not in my
mailbox
mailbox.
because it's a sealed mailbox. It's happening before it gets to my mailbox, unless the guy's out there drawing pictures before he puts it in the box. You know, let's make this whole family of Hitlers, and let's make it Black Santa. What the heck are you doing? You know,
So weird.
No, what do you do? Are you hanging them up now?
I'm not putting those up. No.
Oh.
Put those in the welcome
response to
center.
this.
It's okay
Yeah.
as long as you explain the history behind
I'm
the
not
mustache.
hanging up little Hitler children in the house. Sorry, it ain't gonna happen.
All right. Well,
Anyway,
this went really far south.
yeah.
Jenny Lynn, how about you? Favorite Christmas event in and around Orlando?
I have a few things that I really love to do. Hands down, my favorite is the Osborne Lights in the Hollywood Studios. That is the one and only thing at Disney. I mean, I love the holidays and all of the parks, but that's the one and only thing that they do during the holiday season where I step into the environment and just go, it just almost is like breathtaking.
Did you go to the Osborne? I assume you went to the Osborne Lights before they moved it out of backstage.
No, I'd only ever seen it where it is placed now,
Okay.
the backstage.
I was just wondering if you had a different
But just to
reaction.
be immersed in it, and it's all the synchronization along with the music, and then they've got the snow that falls. And I mean, I obviously love Disney, but like I get giddy at the Osborne lights. Like I'll feel like skipping down the street, and I love it that they have that little hidden Halloween cat. So
That they seem to be moving around this year. It used to be in years past, once you found it, that was it.
oh, they're changing
This
it?
year, they
Yeah.
seem to be like once a week or so.
Oh, I
They're
didn't know.
putting
that.
it in
they
different
really?
Yes, they
Okay.
are. Because
Everybody
somebody
has to
posted a
step up
picture
their
today, and it's in an entirely different spot than when we went. And we had asked a cast member for a hint, and she said, "Oh, you're hungry for Chinese." So we went to where that would be, and there was nothing there, and we found it in a different location. But more people have reported it in different
I
spots.
actually
so.
kind of like that even better.
Wow.
Yeah.
The other thing I really like is the holiday storytellers in Epcot. I one Christmas took my children around to all the different countries so that we could see how Christmas was celebrated in the other countries. I don't know how authentic it is, but nevertheless, it was fun. The UK Santa paid special attention to my kids, so I really liked him a lot. But they've got some really fun, minor, still entertaining, and I don't know, just kind of has that spirit of the holiday, attached to it. Another thing that I really like that just started last year for the first time was out in Busch Gardens. They're doing something now called Christmas Town, and it's their Christmas event, and it is actually really well done. They have a lot of lights, which are again very. I was impressed. They have got some really cute shows with live animals and caroling and singers. I think what I like about that event is it did feel very classically Christmas to me. Going to Disney Osborne Lights doesn't feel classically Christmas. That's like gaudy Christmas. But this, the Christmas Town that they did at Busch Gardens just kind of gave it had more of a hometown feeling Christmas, like as everyone would kind of know
Norman
it.
Rockwell kind of.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. So, and again, I think last year was the first year that they did it. So, and I'm pretty sure that they're going to be.
Is it in
repeating
a certain section of the park? Is it like in? I'm not been to Busch Gardens.
It's in different sections of the park. So, like, there's a section where it's all you like walk through, and it's specifically decorated with lights, and they've got lighted pink flamingos and other kinds of weird things, and then there's another part where they do the shows and
Wait, they put Christmas lights on the flamingos?
not on the flamingos, but they'll have.
That's traditional.
That's very South
very Florida.
Yep.
Okay.
Keys do that a lot. They
Not
decorate
on the
with pink
flamingos, but they will
yeah.
have like a tropical Christmas light display.
Okay.
It kind of reminded me of when I lived in Virginia. We had this one park that you could drive through, and it was just a series of Christmas light displays.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that pathway where they did all of that kind of reminded me of that. And they just had different things that you could do there, like sliding and sledding down an ice mound and throwing snowballs at targets. And it was just a lot of different activities. It was fun. I liked it.
Wow.
It's not as flashy, not as pro, I guess, as some of the other theme parks, but it had a very authentic feel to it, at least for me, and probably as close to a Christmas feel, that you might a type of Christmas that you would experience maybe a little bit farther north in colder climates. That's probably about as good as it's going to get here in Florida.
have you ever done Light Up UCF? I want to do that every
I
year.
have
I never
not.
do. They've got
I
so
keep
many,
saying that every
I have
year and
so many
never got there.
activities, and I never. Maybe I'll get
Like
to.
what? What do they do?
Well, they've got an ice skating rink. They show nightly movies, Christmas movies on the lawn. They do shows. And
There's a big tree. Isn't
big
there?
tree. There's a lighted area. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff, and I
And
just,
it's open to the public. It's not just students.
no, it's open to the public,
Yeah.
and there's a charge for different activities. That's like 5 minutes from my house, and I've never done it. I need
It
to.
sounds like fun.
Yeah.
I also really like resort hopping at the. I mean, I know
Yeah.
that we all talk about that, but that has a very. That's one of those things you were talking about. Now I know
Yeah.
it's Christmas when we start going to the different resorts and we see what they have there. And what I like about that too is each resort kind of has its own little signature holiday thing that it does. Grand Floridian with the gingerbread houses, and Boardwalk with boardwalk with the chocolate carousel.
That whole area in general, just, if you park at the Swan and Dolphin or Disney because it's free, and walk around that whole area and you check out the Swan and Dolphin and go to the boardwalk, beach club, yacht club. That's a good little walk right there to check out some resorts.
Going back to what you said about that drive-through at Busch Gardens, that reminds me of one of my favorite things, which is actually in St. Cloud, believe it or not. St. Cloud has the rodeo. I know, it's not the rodeo. I know. Teresa's mouth has dropped open.
I know. I'm already
But
now.
on the grounds of the rodeo, they do a fair every year. They do rides and stuff. But at Christmas, they set up a drive-through light display.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And it's right off of 192.
Okay.
You go up 192.
Yeah.
You know where the fairgrounds are, where the whatever it is, Osceola Heritage Park is. And you do the thing where you tune your radio to a certain channel. And it plays Christmas music. It's a couple of bucks because it's donating to.
And you haven't told us about this before?
I have never told you about it. And it's kind of that sort of. We talked about our favorite movies. It kind of makes me think of a time when A Christmas Story would be going on. It has that sort of retro feel, not so high tech, not really, fancy lights. It's a very, very simple display. And you kind of drive
There's a
through
leg
it,
lamp in the corner.
There's a leg lamp in the corner. It's very cool. So that's one of my favorite things to do. Corey, what about you?
Obviously Disney. We haven't done anything Disney like as a family yet this year because we just got off the cruise. But this Thursday we're going to Osborne Lights. We were going to do the Christmas party, but just I don't know. It's Osborne is free, so it's less stressful too. You don't feel like you have to do so much. So we're going to do Osborne, and because all the Christmas parties were selling out so fast, I think Thursday was the only night that was it was left open.
Plus, you feel like you're obligated to stay the whole evening to get your money's worth.
Yeah.
And with little kids, that's kind of hard sometimes.
I mean, we're going to do it. I mean, next year we're definitely it's buy our tickets early. I've done it, but I feel like the kids and Julie they're missing out. But we're doing Osborne this Thursday, and I think next week or this weekend we'll probably go to a few resorts and check those out. It's hard to do it too early in the year. You want to get closer to Christmas to really feel it. I enjoyed the being on a Disney cruise with all those Christmas decorations.
Yeah,
that was a nice
great
touch. Obviously, it's not easy to do that. But, some of the things we enjoy doing, I think you can do anywhere. It's, take a different way home and drive through a neighborhood at night and check out the lights in different neighborhoods.
Can I
Those are
tell a
fun
funny
things
story?
to do.
Sure.
This is not exactly related, but sort of to what you were saying about taking a different route home and looking at your neighbor's lights. So I did that this past week. My daughter had her Christmas choir concert, and I took a different route home. And in doing that, I passed by some houses I hadn't passed by before. Now, you know how people gripe about this every year? I'm one of them. Thanksgiving gets overlooked because Halloween ends and then everyone jumps into Christmas and, Thanksgiving, nobody cares about it. It's Christmas, always Christmas. So I'm driving through this, street of light displays. And then I have apparently this one neighbor who felt like a statement needed to be made because his Christmas decorations out on his lawn was a huge inflated turkey. This big, huge Thanksgiving turkey. I guess he just kind of felt like Thanksgiving always gets looked and, Christmas overtakes Thanksgiving time. So now he's going to put Thanksgiving and Christmas this time. I was like, I must introduce myself to this person.
Christmas starts at Halloween in my neighborhood.
Yeah, it does.
People start putting up lights at Halloween.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, the decorations, Halloween isn't even off the shelf yet, and Christmas is taking over.
Corey, on the cruise, did your kids do any of the Christmas-related activities? Did you go see Santa?
No, we didn't do any of that. We'll go to one of the malls. I think one of the nicest malls here in Central Florida, as far as decorations go, is the Mall of Millennia. I mean, it's beautiful in there.
The only problem with the Mall of Millennia is they get a little too artsy. And it's a little too Nightmare Before Christmas-ish.
Yeah, I do like it.
Maybe that's why I like it.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's beautiful.
But do you agree that it's kind of, they have the elongated Santa?
Yeah.
It's not traditional by any means, but
it's a little artsy,
Is that where
but I
Artsy
like it.
Santa came from?
Maybe. I don't.
Their Santa's actually
Wait a
very
minute.
traditional, but their decorations are, in my opinion, a little too avant-garde.
Remember Santa's as children? Maybe not you. You're too young, and you over there, you're too young. But
they were all in black and white.
no, they were. But the beards were like, it was just so fake. Now they're like real looking people, right?
Well, we've all seen a
all
drunk
real.
fake Santa before. I mean, that's a common
Well,
thing.
I mean, I
My
remember the
nephews
Santa.
have.
I remember clearly the Santa in our fire station we'd all go see every year. You know, when I don't know how old I was, probably 9, 10, when I realized that I knew the man. It's like, oh, okay, wait a minute. You're not Santa. Freaked out on him. It was great.
We also like going to like our friends. You know, we have a lot of friends that throw Christmas parties. This past weekend, I had a friend on Saturday night threw an ugly sweater Christmas party. That was fun. And then another friend who threw one on Sunday night, which is weird to have a party on a Sunday night. But it was everybody bring a toy, bring nothing else, but bring a toy, and they give the toys away. And
That's nice.
Yeah,
so
that's
those are
nice.
fun to go to. You know, some of these friends we don't see often. I know, you know, I see them on Facebook a lot, but this is kind of where we meet up again, you know, every Christmas.
Well, talking about Christmas, we do it very low key, but I wanted to, remind everybody that if it hadn't been for us going to a Christmas event at Caribbean Beach when we came down here on vacation, I probably wouldn't be sitting here because we had such a great character or interaction with a couple of cast members that's what got Katie started, that she wanted to go work for Disney. So if we hadn't gone there and had that, and looking back on it now, I think they were just being cast members. It wasn't that they were doing anything that outstanding, but that's what started us on the road to, Katie working here and us moving here. So you just never know what
So
can
she had
happen.
never had any inclination to work for Disney before that moment?
No.
Wow.
No.
Christmas miracle.
And it was just, it was. I mean, really, if you think about it, because I can remember Katie saying that, and I can remember as a mother, she said, someday she'd like to work for Disney. And as a mother, you don't ever want to shoot your kids' ideas down. But she was my child that I thought would never, ever leave home and do something like that. And when she was exposed to these cast members, it was, a couple
That's
months later,
cool.
she ended up in the college program. So I said that really, going to a Christmas event at Disney changed our lives.
You never know.
You never know. You just never know.
Is there anything local in your towns that your towns do? Corey, I would imagine your town probably does. You just don't know it yet.
Yeah, we don't know it yet, but I know going towards the one of our malls that I saw like a bunch of Christmas lights decorated around a place called Crane's Roost. So I was telling Julie, I'm
that's
like, I'm
great.
sure they have something really
Yes.
cool here, but we haven't checked it out. It was the same place that we went trick or treating.
Yep.
So they do something around the entire lake.
I took
But
the
we haven't
kids to
checked it
Crane's
out yet.
Roost 2 years ago for Halloween. They take pictures there for you and everything. You walk around that lake. It's a great area.
St. Cloud does every year. They start off with a craft fair. They do a craft fair fairly
Once
early
again,
on.
why haven't you told me about this
Because I
craft
don't want
fair?
you to know where I live. And it's cute. It's not anything spectacular, but they decorate their main street, and Santa shows up, and they light a tree. So it's nice to see that sort of the towns get involved and stuff. That it doesn't always have to be tourist driven.
Going to the beach is fun. Shopping for new shorts and tank tops, that's
Sometimes going in your pool at Christmas is great, isn't it?
Do you buy a new Christmas ornament every year?
We do just
that
because
just
we do.
me? Okay.
Part of our travels is we look for Christmas ornaments.
Okay, I do
so
too,
every year we
yeah.
have 3 or 4.
I have
but
Jamaican Santa this year. For
Oh, yeah?
We have Jamaican Santa.
You're talking to the girl who spent $60 on the New Jersey Golden Girl
Yeah.
Diz ornaments. They're all in my tree now.
And we do what you guys do, actually. We do every time we pull an ornament out, remember
Yeah.
when we got this? Or it might be one that was handed down.
Right. Oh, I
From
have that
family
too.
to
I have a tree
family.
that just with grandma's ornaments, and yeah, it's fun.
All right, Craig, how about you? What's your favorite Orlando event? And it can't be Universal.
No,
sorry.
It's actually not as great as Grinchmas and the holiday parade are and stuff. They're awesome. It's a free event, so it's not like when you go to the Christmas party at Magic Kingdom and you're paying for that, so the level's just a little bit higher. But I like the Illuminations holiday tag, even though this year they got rid of Walter Cronkite, and it just feels a little more sad now.
I haven't seen it, and someone who's a local said to me that it was very, very disappointing this year.
I mean, obviously I wasn't around for his time, but his voice still just has that meaning. I've seen all the clips of, Apollo 13 landing on the moon. I've heard Walter Cronkite talk enough that I know a lot about him, but without his voice doing it, it just doesn't seem iconic. And whenever it goes into Peace on Earth, it just doesn't have that same feeling. Maybe I'm being a little bit harsh on it, but in a couple of years it'll grow on me. But this year it seems like a pretty bad change in my opinion. But yeah, I like doing all this stuff. I've actually only spent 2 years down here in Christmas during the actual holiday. I mean, I've been down here in December before. We used to come visit my sister when she was a cast member before I moved down here even. And so I like all this stuff at the parties, but all of my holiday moments are really about being back at home and all the memories of like going to family's house on Christmas Eve and it being snowing outside. And I miss all the snow. I'm sorry.
I miss
2
the snow,
shows that she
too.
hasn't cried
I know,
yet.
I
I'm
hadn't
so
cried
disappointed.
yet. Shut up, Craig. My God.
Tell us more about your perfect holiday.
I know.
Well, my perfect holiday would have real snow involved. And
Stop.
that-
Just stop.
Snow is good in theory.
It's beautiful.
I mean,
White
that's how I
sand
spent most of my
works.
life. So I like snow, but now I just kind of just watch movies at home. Whenever the past 2 Christmases that I've been in Orlando, I watch a lot of Disney movies. If you check out our blogs and all that stuff, I'm going to be doing a whole series on Christmas movies that are Disney related. Not all the rest of them because that's not important. But no, I don't have a lot of experience down here. I want to start checking out more stuff like UCF.
What's it
and-
like living near Universal? Is it weird being so close? Because I know you're very close to the park.
Yes, I am very close. It's interesting. It's very tourist driven.
Yeah.
I mean, you walk out like right off the side of the street, and all of a sudden I can see an ale house and 3 gas stations, hotels. So it is a bit weird.
Do the other places in that area do Christmas stuff to sort of, get people to come in, or is it just as soon as you leave Universal property, it's done?
Yeah, it's kind of like being over on 192 in the more tourist driven areas. They might have some lights on like personal businesses and stuff, but for the most part, it's just very void of Christmas, and that's always depressing. But yeah.
Excellent.
No, it's not. It's not excellent. It's depressing.
I'm sorry to bring you down.
Pulling
My
me
bad.
down.
So more about you.
What is? I had a question.
Are we playing
When is
Christmas
Christmas
trivia?
over for you? Is it Christmas Day? It's done. You want it to be over. You don't want to see it anymore, or do you let it linger until New Year's?
That's
New Year's.
Past New Year's.
past New Year's
I'm
for
doing
us.
really good if I've got my tree down by March. I'm really terrible about taking my decorations down.
It's a battle at our house. Kevin wants them up. Kevin would leave the tree up all year round if we could, but it's
Will be dead. Oh, you have
we have
artificial.
a fake tree. Yeah, many artificial trees. So he would leave the house decorated if he could, but it's kind of like a week after New Year's is when it has to come down for us.
I like when you take it, because I have my tree in my front window. That's always been our tradition, is the tree has to be in the front window. And I like when you take it down, because then light comes back through your window again.
The house looks so empty once you've taken
Yeah, it
everything
does.
down.
It's festive.
And we're usually working on it through the month of January. I try to get it down by my birthday in mid-month, but it's more like when the Valentine decorations come out, the Christmas decorations go away.
We all came from any place other than Florida, correct?
No, I was born in Miami.
You were born in Miami. What do those of us who are not from this area do to make it more Christmassy? Because Craig mentioned I miss the snow and I miss all that. For me, it always felt more like Christmas when I lived in New Jersey because of the cold and the
Yeah.
snow and the sort of got dark early type of thing. It's a little bit harder to capture the Christmas spirit when it's 78 degrees outside and sunny. You know,
Oh,
It is.
I think that's perfect, because all my friends that live up north are trudging through the snow to get wherever, and I'm sitting in a hot tub somewhere.
don't get me wrong, I don't miss it. I'm just saying that it's harder for me to snap into the Christmas spirit.
I understand what you're saying. Like from New Orleans, I mean, it never really snowed there either. So, having a white Christmas was few and far between. I think I experienced one in my entire life. The first time I ever saw snow falling down out the sky was last year in Chicago. So that was it was
Okay.
kind of weird. But I enjoy it being cold. I think having a white Christmas would be fun, but it is nice being able to actually go out and ride your new bike and without bundling up too much. You know, it's you're playing outside more.
But I remember, I grew up in Illinois, so Christmases were most always snowy. If it didn't snow, it was kind of weird. And when I can remember the year I got my purple banana seat bike, and I couldn't take it out till spring, and it was I just ride it around the basement and drive around the couch 100 times. Yeah. But I miss snow. I miss it all. But I like it down here.
We lived on a hill, and there were many Christmases that we couldn't get up the street with the car, and the presents were down at the bottom of the street in the car, and my kids would be up in the front window going like, "Do you think they're going to plow today so that we can get the car up?" So I don't miss that at all.
Wow. No, because, you got to have the food that goes with the cold weather. And you can try it down here, but it's just not the same. The hot soups and the warm breads and the
cider
and the cookies coming out of the oven. Okay, we'll still do that. But, I don't know. I do miss the weather.
It's been a good year right now, though, because at night it's been getting down to like 45 degrees.
I love it. Yeah,
it's helped out a lot.
I'm good, yeah.
But I play my holiday records. So especially the ones I've finally stolen from my family. So I have like
what
classic
holiday records.
So like Carpenters, Johnny Mathis.
Yeah. Oh my gosh!
I ordered a bunch of new ones. So Bing Crosby, John Denver and the Muppets.
Yeah. Oh, I listened to that this morning.
Yeah. So that's helping me out a lot.
That helps. Yeah.
Especially with the crackle of vinyl.
But the first time I heard "I'll Be Home for Christmas," and it was the first year I wasn't home for Christmas. It was like weeping Mary driving down the interstate in Atlanta, like. It was horrible, because you're not going to be there.
Like I said, I think you have to do that thing that sort of makes it Christmas here. And whether it's decorating or...
baking cookies.
What's the food, the one food on Christmas Day you have to have? Is there one?
I don't know if there's one. Like I said...
We make homemade sausage.
You do your sausage, yeah.
Garlic dip.
And because it's from your childhood or something you just...
It's something that you can only eat. It's not a summer thing.
Right.
So Thanksgiving and Christmas, garlic dip. Yeah.
It's Grandma's pink salad at our house, both holidays. You can't have without Grandma's pink Jell-O salad with nuts and fruit.
Oh. And the stuff is floating in it and stuff?
No, it's not a clear. It's like Cool Whip and whipped cream, and it's like a solid.
It's like a fluff.
A fluff. It's like a fluff.
Oh my God, that's.
I don't particularly care for it, but it's got to be on the table.
I like it.
I don't care for it, especially since my sister's the one that makes it now. And she substitutes things to make it healthy, and it's just not. If you're gonna have it, do it right. Do it like Grandma did it.
So, John, what's your favorite food?
I can't think of something that I have to have that's Christmas.
Spiral ham.
The spiral ham does kick off the season for us. Yeah. That's sort of it. Coming from an Italian family, you have to have pasta at Christmas. So it might be a lasagna or it might be baked ziti or something. But I can't think of one thing I have to have.
No.
One of the things that's actually been a new sort of trigger for us is K-Cup. Santa's White Christmas. Have you had Santa's White Christmas?
No, I haven't.
They have it in Publix.
Oh, is it the Barney's?
Yep, Barney's.
Okay, I picked it up yesterday. It's got caramel and coconut. Yes, that was very good.
Christmassy flavor. Okay. So that's sort of our new, I don't want to say tradition, but it's our new thing. Like when Dunkin' Donuts does it Thanksgiving, they put out pumpkin.
Yeah.
So now that's our Christmas coffee.
Okay.
I have a question about wrapping presents. Are you a perfectionist or do you just wrap it? See, I can wrap an entire box with 3 pieces of tape. Julie, on the other hand, it's like it takes me a year just to get into the present.
Okay, it depends on the year. Okay, and some years the wrapping. Are you talking about just how to wrap it or the packaging itself?
Wrapping the presents you wrap for other people for Christmas.
Okay, no, they are wrapped, and some years they're color coded. Like all of Grace's will be in this paper, and all of Stella's will be in this paper.
But the style of how you wrap it.
The style of wrap it.
A ton of tape. Are you a perfectionist? How you fold things?
Yes, it's tape. Because I was 1 year. 1981, I was a professional gift wrapper in a department store in Iowa. I was at the Christmas wrapping counter, and we were told how to wrap. So yes, I do it a certain way. Huh. And the bows cannot. I don't like those bag of bows where you just stick the bow on. Oh. No, it needs to be a little bit more.
You have to add ribbon to it.
Has to have ribbon. Has to have interesting.
This year's a little different. I'm not doing it.
But with kids, though, isn't it almost futile to put ribbons and bows on
Doesn't
stuff? 'Cause-
matter. It
Doesn't
has
matter.
to look good under the tree. That's
yeah,
the
it has
point.
to look good. Some years we'll make our own paper. I haven't done that in a
We've
while.
done that in the
with
past.
stamps.
Yep, we
hate
have done
wrapping
that.
presents.
Yeah,
And you have
no.
to, no, you fold everything perfectly. It has to look nice. And you use not 3 feet of tape. You use it where you
Just
need to.
strategic tape,
Three
Lots
pieces.
of-
That's all you need.
Lots of ribbon.
3 pieces.
ribbon,
So
a
does-
tag.
Yes, some kind of
and
pretty
then
tag. You can even make
I don't
make your
tag
own
them.
tags.
I don't tag them when I put them under the tree because I don't want the kids saying, "Oh, that's mine, that's mine." But they've learned my secret. If you turn the package over, somewhere in the tiniest little handwriting, you'll find an initial.
Well, then you might as well just tag it.
I know it because they're like tearing stuff up trying to find the initial. But sometimes I throw them off with a code. Like it might be Stella, but I'm going to put another letter that stands for Stella. So it's
So do you put the presents under the tree before Christmas, or do you bring
Some.
them out?
I put
there's a
some.
few, but
Santa
Christmas.
has to deliver some.
Santa delivers.
Santa has to deliver.
Yeah, he does. He's
From mom
where
and
else would
dad,
they
there were
come from?
presents, and then
Right.
from
If
Santa,
it's-
there were
Yes, from
Right.
mom and dad. If
Yeah.
something arrives from a relative, it goes under the tree. Christmas morning, obviously, after Santa has been there, then there's the abundance of, oh my, it's an OMG
An OMG
moment, right?
moment.
And then there's the things that aren't wrapped that Santa just pulls out of his bag and,
Best Christmas I ever had was when we were in Virginia. I lived in a fairly large house. I had 5 fireplaces. And I decided to go all out this one particular Christmas. And right next to one of the fireplaces was our Christmas tree. And after the kids went to bed, I took, I think it was baking soda, and I poured it all inside the fireplace. And I took my husband's boots and I made footprints in it, and then made footsteps from the baking soda all the way over to the tree. Then we had, the plate with the carrots and the celery for
carrots
the
go in the
reindeer. and they
driveway,
were
but go ahead.
Well, in our house, they're inside because it was cold.
Because the deer don't come in the house.
Well, then that's okay. In our house, it works this way.
Florida deer come in the house because they're smaller.
Anyway, it was all half eaten and everything, but the kids got up that Christmas morning and came out, and they saw in the fireplace, the footprints inside the chimney walking to the house, and they were just like, oh my gosh, what? Like, it was really
No, I love it when
mind
you
blown.
When you put the food
It's
out
the
for
best.
Santa, right? You put food out for Santa,
Yes,
right?
yes.
But it's always got to be something Santa's going to like, because if it's not something he doesn't like, which has happened in years, and he just leaves it with a note that says, no, this ain't right. But
like fruitcake.
yeah, fruitcake or something, that
Or
Santa
your
can.
sister's Jello mess.
I
or
agree.
whatever that is.
Fruitcake
Dating
ain't
that
right.
pinwheels.
Do you
no
guys
way.
use Disney wrapping paper? Is Disney anywhere in the wrapping of the presents, or is it all Christmas themed?
No, sometimes it's
No.
Disney. Sometimes it's one year. Well, it was SpongeBob. It wasn't Disney. We were all into SpongeBob, so everybody had, But usually there's something Disney there. And my whole tree is not Disney, but I do have Disney touches.
Disney ornaments on your
Yeah,
tree?
some touches.
My
But
entire tree is Disney.
is it?
The entire
Mine,
thing.
you have to look for mine. Mine's weird
too,
things
yeah.
like Ethel, who's been on the tree since 1992, the year after the horrible incident of 1990. Ethel was like the rebirth of our Christmas. And she's just like this horribly obese mermaid. Hangs on the front of the tree. So
Makes you say Christmas right away, right?
Yeah.
Obese mermaid.
I love Ethel. So
I think what happens is we all do our own thing that's kind of got a Disney spin to it. I don't think it's easy to sort of distance ourselves from the whole Disney addiction
No.
that we have.
Well, in Florida, Disney's just kind of part of the culture. It's in all of the stores. It doesn't matter if it's a Disney store or not a Disney
Right.
store.
It's
You're
in
going to
Walmart.
find. Yeah,
Yeah, it's in the grocery store.
It's everywhere you go. We have a Disney Advent calendar. That's another thing that helps get us psyched for that. You can find
is
them.
each window like a different character?
It's a hanging thing with pockets, and you pull the little ornament out of the pockets and you stick it on the Velcro Mickey head.
Okay.
is it I've got my advent calendar is a Mickey. It's huge.
Yeah, it's really large.
Like 2 wreaths and
Yeah, we might have
Okay.
gotten it at
Yeah,
the
might
same.
have
Did you
seen-
get
yeah.
it at the Christmas store in
Yeah, I
downtown
did.
Disney?
A couple years ago. Yeah.
Same thing then.
Yeah.
But my kids love it, and they go and they pick out a Disney character ornament thing and slap it on the Velcro spot.
See,
on
I'm
the,
doing it this year. The kids are kind of like, yeah, okay, whatever. Take one off, darn it. You're going to put it on the tree.
Well, thank you guys very much for this very nice conversation. I feel like we should have had like the Yule log
Yeah,
on a TV
yeah.
behind us. It felt kind of like telling our Christmas stories this year, didn't it?
I did. It was so
Oh my
festive.
goes! I forgot something else we do for Christmas. That's Disney.
Well, we're out of time, so
Darn it!
we'll have to wait until next year.
Related to that. Shoot.
That's funny.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Disney sells this DVD called The Magical Fireplace, I think it is. We could have played that, and it's just this log with fire in the background, and then every once in a while, this Disney character will float up out of the flames.
That sounds awful.
Does anybody from usually it was a Northeast thing? Is we had the Yule log every year, and it was on like some obscure channel, and it was a constant loop
It's
of
on.
a fire.
We have it here.
Do we have it here?
Yeah, we have it here.
Channel 13 has a Frozen one
like
that
this candle.
they're doing.
It's all Christmas.
Channel 13 has I was
A
Teresa.
Frozen one.
Oh, really?
I think a Frozen one. Yeah.
No,
Our
we had
Bright
the Yule
House
log
channel
last year.
has
Does
their
it
news
really?
channel does 24 hours of Yule.
Yeah, there's
I
a
thought it
Yule
was
log.
just something we did. In the
No.
Northeast.
No,
Katie
Sorry,
looks
you're not
forward to that
special.
every
It's
year.
Everybody
We're
does
not
it.
that special. All right, we'll have to look for it this year.
When you
so.
don't have a real fireplace. Yeah, because one year I hung the stocking. We always had a fireplace till we moved here. Then hung the stockings on front of the TV, so the fire crackling behind it.
Gotta do what you gotta do, right?
Yeah.
Again, thank you guys for very, very nice conversation, very Christmassy conversations. Put me in the mood, I think. I'm not quite sure. That'll do it for this episode. That'll do it for this year. Merry Christmas to everybody who's watching and listening, and Happy New Year. And we hope you enjoyed the show. We'll see you next year on the Diz Unplugged. Stop listening and stop watching.